as the Supreme Court has pulled up the Delhi government, said that the odd-even schemes are not really going to make a difference when it comes to fighting air pollution in Delhi. The Supreme Court has told Delhi government that these are mere optics and the government must dissuade from them and take concrete action. So when we talk about concrete, viable actions in Delhi to reduce pollution, top of the mind comes how Delhi needs to be made electric vehicle friendly, which means that public transport, the buses particularly, need to be completely changed to the electric vehicle model. Not just that, the private vehicles, cars, scooters also must come into the ambit of then becoming electric as months and years pass by. How is the Aam Aadmi Party government going to do so? What are the initiatives that have already been launched by Aam Aadmi Party? What is it that is being provided in terms of incentives and subsidies? And what is the roadmap? What is the goal point that the Aam Aadmi Party is wanting to target? Is it 2020, 2030, 2040, 2050? There has to be a long-term plan on this regard. Let's start off this conversation on the telecast with me. I'm going to start off with the Aam Aadmi Party leader, Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson, Sadat Sharma, if he's with us right now, and quickly getting a response from him. Okay, we'll try to get Sadat Sharma shortly on the telecast, but I start my conversation with Pankaj Gupta. He's the CEO of Muin Green Finance. Actually, before I go to Muin Green Finance, because let's start off with the basics of what the green automotives, electric vehicles are then going to be played out in terms of the policy changes and inclusions that the governments have done, central and state governments, and what's the future ahead for electric vehicles in India. Pragya Goyal, CEO and co-founder of WEG Automobiles, on the telecast with me. Pragya, good to have you on the show. And the big question I ask over here, and definitely pertaining to Delhi, about the number of electric buses that ply in Delhi are the largest in number across the country. There is an aim to reach the point of 8,000 electric vehicles plying on the streets of Delhi by 2025. This is the plan that has been paved by the Aam Aadmi Party government. There was an announcement on this regard that was made by Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. Is there a way that this production, manufacturing of electric vehicles and putting them on the streets, plying them on the streets, can be done at a much earlier stage, perhaps by 2024 instead of 2025? And what are the plans that will have to be put in place to ensure the reduction in the time span from 2025 to 2024?
Hi, thank you for taking me on the panel here. So as we have seen, the Delhi pollution is increasing and we have the short-term solution, which I feel the odd-even policy. I don't think this odd-even policy is a long-term pollution, and as you rightly stated, switching to electric is the long-term solution which we should focus upon. Delhi is, of course, the most EV environment friendly policies today Delhi has, and we have seen a large number of buses in Delhi. Talking about the reducing of timelines to 2025 to 2023, I believe it's not only the production capacity of the manufacturers that has to be increased, but we need to develop the ecosystem as a whole, whether it starts from sourcing of raw materials, supporting in government initiatives, or the charging infrastructure. All these steps have to be taken together into consideration to reduce the timeline along with the ramp up of production. Not only buses, I would say even the private vehicles and the two-wheelers will play a major role in reducing this pollution impact if we try to convert everything to electric by next year.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Let's quickly get in Yogesh Prakash, C-founder and CEO of Finayo. Now, Yogesh, again, finance is a major part when it comes to changing the way India travels, changing the way India uses its vehicles to travel. Now, electric vehicles have gotten a number of subsidies when consumers go out to buy their two-wheelers or their cars. How is the market looking like currently?
So, hi, thanks for having me here. As the market is concerned, that yes, the market is growing. More number of e-vehicles are coming into the market, and the buyers, the borrowers, they are adapting to the EV vehicles. They are switching from IC to means the internal combustion based engines to electric vehicles. The most important thing is providing the right finance facilities and creating an infrastructure in such a way that the borrowers are getting more economical finances available in the market. So Finayo as a tech platform, yes, we are enabling that, and Mr. Pankaj also here, and he's our partner to provide finance to various customers from every geographic location. And finance is the only way to ease the adaptation and increase the adaptation in the market. As we have seen when the IC started, we saw that people started buying it from cash and then they shifted to finance. Same way EV started from buying cash. Now they are taking more loans. More people are applying for electric vehicles. I'm saying so in my point of view, yes, it's a long-term solution, but it is happening right now. And yes, one day we will definitely solve this, not majorly, but yes, at a level where the pollution will reduce.
I also have Chirag Chawla. He is the CFO, Sujata Systems Private Limited. Sujata is an Indian startup working on energy storage systems. Chirag, quickly getting a response from you about the revolution that needs to be brought in India, and particularly in Delhi, in wake of the air pollution that is faced by Delhiites every single year. The long-term solution, how soon do you think Delhi can become completely electric?
Yeah, thank you for taking me on board. Actually, we talk more about electric vehicles and automobile sector, but the only factor which can impact highly on energy side is BESS, battery-based ESS. We can use it in factories, in hospitals, and hotels. So it will remove all the generators, diesel-based generators, who are creating highly polluted areas. So we need to focus on that area also, so that lithium can be taken with electric vehicles into commercial spaces, industries, factories, and hotels. And we have also installed 100 kVs, 200 kVs, which is taking highly polluting areas to the green energy.
All right. I also have with me Pankaj Gupta, CEO, Muin Green Finance. Pankaj Gupta, how many how many clients do you see on a monthly basis and a yearly basis who are looking to be funded, who are looking to be financed to buy electric vehicles? And which all parts of India are they coming to you from?
So when we talk about, first of all, thank you to be having me here. So there are a few points, and I would like to start with the topic, which is that, whether the EV is the only thing. So the only point which I want to start with is that, every bit has to be done in every possible green channel. So whether it is two-wheeler, three-wheeler, four-wheeler, you cannot be changing the entire thing over the next 2 years. And for us to go electric, I would not say that only electric is the right way to do. It is all about all green channel and possible, which reduce pollution in Delhi, would be the key drivers for it. Number one. When you talked about in terms of number, we probably are currently serving around close to 4,000 electric buyers every month, and demand is humongous, and it is a constant endeavor from Muin Green to probably add more and more to the ecosystem, more of electrification of the ecosystem. We do not only fund vehicles, we also fund the entire ecosystem, which is charging, swappable batteries, and everything, all put together to grow the penetration of electric vehicles in the country. And we are seeing a major churn coming in the commercial segment first, and the passenger or the private customers would adapt it over a period of time. But where there is a commercial usage, the adaptation is very fast. Currently, we are serving across 14 states in the country, and in this 14 state, we are able to serve 4,000 customers on month-on-month basis, and we intend to grow to almost like 6,000-7,000 customers on a monthly basis, and that's what we are aiming at.
Okay.
Greenlight.
Okay, fair enough. Now, in terms of how the private automotive, EV automotive companies are working, and these EV finance companies, green finance companies are then supporting the EV infrastructure. I also have with me Sadat Sharma. He's the Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson. Sadat, very important at this point of time, the Supreme Court directive that came to the Delhi government saying that, these odd-even schemes are mere optics. There is more permanent solutions that Delhi government needs to be finding, and making Delhi electric is the first step to a permanent solution to fighting air pollution. How is the Delhi government equipped in doing so?
I think when the Supreme Court says something, we have to take it seriously, and we have to say it in entirety. There is a context to it. We should understand that things like GRAP that Delhi government announces, graded reaction action plan. These are like when a patient is in ICU, we do all kinds of things. A doctor does all kinds of things somehow to survive the patient. As we remember during when the COVID struck and nobody knew what exactly the virus was doing. Everyone was doing their best. Somebody was drinking kada and somebody was hand washing and somebody was taking masks. Everything, social distancing, everything has to be done. But we also know that pollution is a long-term issue, and it's not like an ICU. We have to give a tonic. A tonic is given to a healthy person. A medicine is given to a sick person. So as far as odd even is concerned, Aam Aadmi Party, we are a little bit of a scientific set of people. We believe that whenever we do something, it has to be peer reviewed. And regarding odd even, there is a statement in the Lok Sabha by the central government that odd even, yes, to the extent of around 3 to 4%, the smoke pollution does reduce because of odd even during the days that odd even is in force. But does that mean that 3 and 4%?
They were also, I think the last time around and last time around when the odd even scheme was proposed to be launched, it was already cancelled before it could be tabled. There is a reason behind it. The fact that doing this is not really actually going to solve the problem. Like you said, it's a knee-jerk reaction, and it doesn't matter if you actually go ahead rolling it out.
Megha, I don't think it's a knee-jerk reaction. It's an emergency reaction. As I said, when a patient is in ICU, the doctor does whatever he can to save it. But regarding the substantial part that you asked, now IIT Kanpur has done a survey and a study in Delhi, which says that Delhi's own pollution generation is 31% and the NCR's pollution coming into Delhi is 69%. Out of this 31%, the IIT Kanpur has studied that 38% is due to road dust, that is construction and the dust in the atmosphere. 28% belongs to vehicle smoke, and around 11% because of biowaste, biofuel and bio-waste burning. So what has Aam Aadmi Party's Delhi government done? Now, forget about the GRAP thing where the construction, etc. stops and Diwali time where crackers are banned in Delhi. Let us just focus on 28% of the vehicular pollution, that segment. So what Aam Aadmi Party Delhi has done is that in 2020 we came up with a very progressive EV policy. What that EV policy says is that as of today in Delhi, nearly 2.5 lakh vehicles are totally electric vehicle driven, which is the highest in India. 800 buses in Delhi are running entirely on electricity, which is the highest in India, including NCR. In fact, Haryana doesn't even have a single EV vehicle. Delhi aims to target that by 2025, that is within the next 2 years, 25% of Delhi's vehicle will be electric. Now, how do we achieve that? This is a very grand plan. This is a very, you can say that this is a daydream that we are dreaming, but we have to give the details to the people. The devil always lies in the details. The detail here is that just like when you have a vehicle which is combustible internal combustion engine, you can fill the petrol or diesel or your gas anywhere in the petrol bunks. Whenever your fuel meter shows low, you can you can just drive or ride your vehicle to the nearest petrol bunk and refill it. But electric vehicles need particular charging. So right now in Delhi, we are giving subsidies to households to put up electricity charging units, and as of today 5,000 units, 5,000 places there are either electricity charging points, household charging points, or battery changing points. By 2025 we aim it to take it to 18,000. We give subsidies to that. Other than that, we, from a minimum of 5,000 rupees to a maximum of 1.5 lakh rupees, we give subsidy to people who are trying to buy, who are going for buying electric vehicles, because there are many progressive states like Karnataka and Telangana also adopted the EV policy. They were focusing more on the demand side. Aam Aadmi Party Delhi focused more on the supply side.
So that also, a very important, pertinent question over here, that as more and more Delhiites switch to EV, there is going to be more electricity that will have to be generated to allow for the consumption that the demand will then propose for the electric vehicles to function. How has the Delhi government thought about that as well?
Yes, all the thermal power plants. We know that to generate electricity is generated in power plants which also pollute. So first thing we did was all the thermal power plants in Delhi have been, and most of the Delhi electricity that we are purchasing is coming from Uttarakhand and Haryana, where hydroelectricity is being generated. So that is the key step that we have taken, that let the entire cycle of electricity generation to EV vehicle consumption be carbon neutral. One of the another thing, because everything has when you do something, it has to be measured according to the outcome. Just by shutting the thermal power plants, by ensuring that no industrial units in Delhi run on CNG or any other kind of fuel. Right now there are 1,700 units in Delhi, industrial units, which have all switched to PNG, that is clean fuel. What it has resulted in is, as of today, nearly 1 lakh tons of carbon emission in Delhi have been reduced. And we plan that the plans that I have told you in this program, we think that the calculation is that by the year 2025, more than 4,67,000 lakh tons of carbon emission will be cut in Delhi. We also have to understand. And this is a very important.
What is the goal point? Are you saying by 2030, 2040, 2050? What's your goal
2025. 2025, Delhi aims to cut down its emissions by nearly 5 lakh tons of carbon emission per year.
Going to happen? Also, you have a very you have a plan to have about, I think, how many 1,000? I think 15,000. How many buses? How many EV buses, electric buses, are you going to be flying in Delhi by 2025? And can that plan be advanced because of the the situation, the emergency situation that we are in?
As of now, 800 electric buses are on road, and we plan that by 2025, the world data says that India will be the number 2 in urban transport requirement of city buses. So by 2025, out of the 10,000, 11,000 buses that will be on Delhi roads, 8,000 buses will be totally EV buses. Now we have to understand that with EV buses, we need huge depots, because it is not like diesel, the existing bus depots where they can be serviced or recharged. The other thing is that technology also hampers, because anybody who has a EV vehicle today knows that with a complete charge, a two-wheeler runs nearly 120 kilometers or a four-wheeler runs nearly 200 kilometers. So we also have to understand that buses also ply from morning till night. When they ply on the road, they ply to around 200-220 kilometers. So as of the technology is available today, we are making optimal use of that technology. There are 7 depots in Delhi. 2 depots are already ready, in which these 800 buses are being serviced and recharged overnight, and this will go up to 8,000 buses within the next 1.5 years.
Okay, all right. Let me also get in again Pragya Goyal. Pragya, now the lifespan of an electric vehicle and an electric bus in this regard, once it is charged overnight, how many kilometers then it can cover?
So talking about the electric vehicles, it has various range depending on the type of application. Electric buses, private cars, for example, you're seeing a lot of private cars running that has a range of over 200 kilometers per day. Electric scooters come with a range of as low as 50 kilometers to as high as 180 kilometers. So it depends on the type of application. And I think in the bus technology also, with changing the battery, we can attain the range we want to. So intercity buses will definitely have a different range than what we require for intra-city buses.
Okay.
So the range can definitely be achieved. That's not a challenge to be achieved.
Okay. All
based
right.
on the application we require.
And coming back to you, Sadat, with regards to, is there a PPP model that the Aam Aadmi Party government is looking to work upon when it comes to making the entire Delhi electric?
Yes, in fact, in 2021, when Tokyo hosted the Olympics, they had gone nearly, because when you host an Olympics, you have to adhere to certain criteria. One of the criteria is being carbon neutral. So Tokyo has a very good model, and Tokyo, as we know, is the world's most dense and the most populous city. They have adopted certain models, and we are in touch with them, and we are basically it's a good model. It's the global best practices that wherever they are being followed, and the best in the world in as far as EV technology is concerned. The best experts in the world are advising, not just advising, even executing the Delhi thing. As the panelist just before me said, the technology with the buses, we have to understand that they have to run 200 kilometers. As of today, the technology is prevalent. That prevalent technology makes electric bus run to around 200 kilometers.
Okay.
Whereas on an average, a city bus in a day flies between 220 to 250 kilometers.
Okay.
So keeping that in mind, you have to make sure that in a certain segment, say between Connaught Place and Wazirabad, if you run a set of buses, by evening, maybe 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, those set of buses, the electric charge would reduce. So at that point of time, those buses have to come back to the depot, and a new set of the same buses, because that is the peak hour, we have to cater to that. So we are working on it, and these things are in the pipeline.
And it's not combinations, adjustments that will have to be made to come to a model that is going to work for Delhi roads. Also, you've taken forward an ambitious plan. You're talking about the EV policy 2.0. I don't know how feasible it is, because you're talking about retrofitting of combustion engines of every single car and two-wheeler in Delhi. It is going to face roadblocks. It's a very expensive proposition to undertake. Are these lofty ideas that cannot be executed?
Megha, as I said, there is not, you cannot say that this is a one size fits all. Delhi has so many vehicles, and if we tomorrow the governments, we have to understand that government should make laws that are enforceable on people. A law cannot be made on the paper, and if it is not enforceable, then it is not a good law. So when you change over to electric vehicles, obviously there would be a outlier set of people who would not have that much budget with them to totally overnight dump their old vehicle and go for an EV vehicle. So for that kind of outliers, it is not a government project. Government is only saying that governments can go ahead, can go ahead with retrofitting. And in Delhi, as we see, not just in Delhi, everywhere in India, internal combustion engines like petrol and diesel engines, they have been fitted with CNG gas cylinders, and they have been running properly. So as far as the emission is zero, if there is a retrofitting option, and there is an outlier set of 5% of people who do not have a budget to go for a new car or a two-wheeler, but they would rather spend 35 or 40,000 rupees for the next 1 or 2 years and retrofit their vehicle with an EV. What is wrong in that? It is not it's not just a single solution. It is also part of the larger solution.
Perhaps a minuscule percentage of the solution could be that, because keeping in mind in terms of the costing, in terms of what it is going to cost a consumer, what it is going to cost a commuter, I don't know, there are options galore. This, again, a very skeptical one. But okay, I'm out of time. Thank you, Sadat. Thank you, rest of my panelists, for joining me on the telecast. An educative telecast, a way forward over here, because instead of brickbats and blame games that political parties play, it is important to forge a way ahead to allow for Delhi to become eco-friendly. And for that to happen, electric is the way forward, renewable energy is the way forward, and governments need to come together to carry forward and cooperate in that direction. Thank you for watching NewsX.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.